Most people exchange time, and most people exchange time, skills, and labor, even money. To time to income. Well, but then, why do people focus on systems, assets, and keep generating value, even for a very, very long time? But the honest truth about it is that there's so many things that we can actually do to actually build wealth for ourselves. Now, the truth is that someone can actually build assets and then also be able to create wealth. There are different dimensions to wealth creation. A lot of people believe that wealth is just to go to school, get certificates, and then be able to start to get a job and then start earning money and all of that. But the honest truth, there's also another school of thoughts that believe that wealth isn't just about certificate. When you are also creating value, you're adding value. You're building something that can be extended to the generation, something that can live, in the sand of time. You're actually also creating wealth. So as a matter of fact, wealth is not only about when money is exchanging hands, when you are constantly adding value, when you're doing something that is building another person, and when you're constantly on the path of growth and expansion, you can invariably say that you are actually creating wealth. We can say that you're creating wealth. Hello and welcome to Wealth Creation on Global Television today. And today we will be discussing the topic wealth versus income, and then why many people actually earn, but it's only few persons that actually create wealth. We're going to be knowing much about that. So we'll be right back. Just stay tuned. When we return, I will be introducing our guest for today. Welcome back. To discuss this topic today is with me, it's Mr. Adetokunbo Adebumi. He's also popularly known as Coach Stokes. And he's someone I respect so much. Coach Stokes is a business mentor and a coach. He's also the business development manager with Parts Limited, a UK-based company. And then he happened to be the business development manager covering the whole of West Africa and even some part of Europe as well. He's also the founder of F2F, that's Fan and Flame. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to make welcome no other person than Mr. Tokunbo Adebumi. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much,
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, ma.
I'm so excited because today we'll be discussing something very important. We'll be talking about wealth creation. There's several schools of thought to wealth creation. A lot of people have said so many things about it. And there's so many misconceptions around wealth creation. Mm-hmm. Some people think that, for you to create wealth, you need to first of all go get a degree and then probably get your first degree, second degree, and third degree. And then, you start looking for a job and all of that before you can create wealth. But some people also believe that there's this innate talent that God has put in the inside of us. When God created you, He didn't say that you have to get a certificate first. There's a talent that God has given to everyone. That if we're able to harness our talent, we'll also be able to create wealth as well. And then a lot of people, don't even understand the difference between wealth creation and income. So today, we're going to be looking into all of that. And I'm so excited. You're a very seasoned business development manager, and you're also a coach and a mentor. And I'm so happy to have you because I'm very sure that my wide viewers will be tapping from your wealth of experience today. So you're welcome once again, sir. sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, starting on this show, I'd like to hear from you what's your thought about it. How do you differentiate income and why a lot of people earn? How do you differentiate income from wealth and why a lot of people earn and just few persons are making money? Please, and just few persons are creating wealth, because a lot of people earn, but only few persons are creating wealth. How do you differentiate, wealth and income or earning as well? Yes,
Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much for having me. I am very grateful to be here, and thank you for this opportunity and this platform. All right, it's a very, very important question, and I grew up in life struggling to understand the difference between these two. Okay, income basically is what you earn, what is tied to your effort, direct effort, your salaries, your wages, your business commissions. If you're a business person, you work for somebody, once you exchange value, once you exchange time, and then you get money back, that's an income.
Yeah.
However, wealth is different. Wealth is what you build over time.
Period of time.
Over a period of time.
Yeah.
Income is regular. Okay. Wealth extends over time. Is not instantaneous. It's what you build over time. Income is what you get when you exchange value and then you get it back immediately. Income is temporary, and it can stop. Wealth, if well managed, can move from one generation to the other generation.
Wow, I love what you said. You said income is temporal, and wealth is generational. Well, that is very beautiful. We're actually learning. I mean, that is super. That is very interesting. We're learning. So now, if you say that income is temporal and wealth is generational, so why do some high-income earners still struggle financially, and why some low-income earners build lasting wealth?
Wow, thank you very much, Ma. This is also fantastic. It will interest you. I used to work for an international organization way back, and you found out that some of the managers don't have houses in Abuja, but the drivers have houses. And then
it happens a lot,
yes. It happens a lot. And then the managers are earning over $1 million, the drivers are probably earning 300,000. Now, this is what it is. You can be a very high income earner and still be broke. But you can be a low-income earner and be able to create wealth, because there are different school of thought and there are different rules that guide them. Income, you get, and then there's something they call lifestyle inflation. You can inflate your lifestyle and say, no, I can't live in this area of town because my income is 1 million naira. And then you keep spending. And then your expenditure matches up or even overcomes or exceeds your income. But for low-income earners that are already wealth savvy, low-income earners that already have good principle of wealth creation, they keep a certain amount of their income when they first start aside, and then they use that income to build wealth. So that's why you can see someone that is earning so much, and at the end of the day, he has nothing to show for it, because as he's coming in, is going out. As it's coming in, is going out.
I think I agree with you, because then I used to know a very junior staff in one of the places that I used to work, and then this person doesn't say an outsketch and all of that. He has a car. So as he's coming to work in the morning, he probably pick passenger on his way and then to work. So that way, money to feed himself at work, lunch, not a problem. As he's going back home, he also pick passengers. So money to at least drop something at home, not a problem. And then he already built a small apartment where he stays with his family comfortably. But then people who earn like as high as 500,000 naira, 1 million, probably still paying house rent of 2 million, 5 million. Exactly. And at the end of the day, they can't even be, if you see where the peace person is taking lunch, you'll be like, but and all of that. So I think I agree with you on that. Now, the next thing I want to ask actually is, now, what are those spending habits that constantly keep earners poor? And even these people that earns high, but then because their volume of expenditure and all of that, despite all of their steady income, they're still, struggling and all of that. So what are those, spending habits that we need to watch out for if we truly want to create wealth?
Thank you very much, Ma. In fact, I love this question because I was also in that cycle before I read the book.
Okay.
Now, the habits that keep people poor is number one. A lot of people have not learned to pay themselves first, even from that income they're earning. And what does this mean?
I agree with you.
It means you get a salary or you get a commission, and then the next thing is bills you are paying. But no, before you pay bills, pay yourself first. At least a minimum of 10% of that money that comes to you, keep it aside. Block your mind to it, because that is your seed for growing wealth.
So you are saying that if I'm earning income, the whole of the money is not my own?
No, not at all.
Wow. Please, can you expatiate on that?
You must tell yourself that a minimum of, in fact, you can even put a standing order in your bank. Once salary, once money hits my account, 10% goes into a separate account, and that account does not have ATM, it does not have online banking facility, it does not have, you can't transfer from it, it locks down. And that is your seed for creating wealth. Now, I'm going to give an example. If this laptop you have here is being sold normally for 1 million naira, and then somebody is going abroad and he needs to quickly fling it, and he says he wants to sell it for 300,000. You know, if I buy it, I'm going to be able to sell it for 500,000, but I don't have anything saved up. I don't have anything for investment, nothing. I will lose that opportunity. But if I have had something, 10% of my income over time that I've grown, I can quickly dash there, pick it up, purchase the laptop, you leave, you go abroad, and then I can resell it and take the money back. I've built that. My money has worked for me. So that's the difference. When you are building wealth, you make your money to work for you. Wealth is about system. When you collect income and you don't keep something, a discipline, no matter how small, even if it is 100 naira, keep it. Even if it is 5,000, keep it. Is that habit, consistent habit built over time, that guarantees that you're
I think that is actually where budgeting comes in right now.
Absolutely.
Because if someone is earning a certain amount of money, I've learned something from you now, where you are earning money, that money you call your salary in entirety is actually not your money. A certain percentage of it is a seed, which is actually what you worked for. So the other 90%, you sit down and draw a budget, and then decide how many percentage goes to savings, investment, and all of that. Am I correct?
Perfect.
Wow, that is very beautiful.
Perfectly.
So now, if that is the case, is wealth more about what you earn or how you manage what you earn? Is it about what you earn or how you manage what you earn?
No, it's not about what you earn. It's about how you manage what you earn. Just like I said,
So what you mean is that, you know, if someone who is even earning lesser, that knows how to manage properly, can even build wealth more than the person who earns higher that don't know how to manage.
Absolutely.
Please, can we hear that?
Absolutely. One of the fathers of faith in Nigeria had said something. He said when he was at a particular level of substance, maybe he was earning 500,000, the kind of school his children would go, he knew. The kind of car he would ride, he knew. The kind of environment he would live, he knew. Now, he had been able to look at his budget and say, okay, I'm earning 500,000. 50,000 goes to savings. 50,000 go to investments, and then the remaining 400,000, I'm going to whatever this can buy. The kind of clothes he can buy is what I'm going. These specs I'm wearing, you can see a specs of 1 million. You can see a specs of 100,000. You can even see of 20,000. So what's the difference? So you just make sure that whatever your expenditure is within your means. A lot of people end up being poor. A lot of people end up not building wealth because they live beyond their means. There's something called lifestyle inflation. Once your salary increases, you upgrade your life.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't also blame the people, the such individuals, because I give an example. You know, you have a job pay you 500,000 naira. And then the person is probably, you know, a senior management staff in the office and needed to live within the city center. So at least the person can, you know, convey to the office early enough, or sometimes they close it late and wouldn't want to start going to the outskirts. And then you realize that at the end of the day, you don't have an option than, you know, you have to pay for this rent. And of course, you know that where you stay also determines the school your children attend and all of that. And then if your environment is already, you know, what it is, so it also affects the children's school fees as well. So at the end of the day, it's not the person's fault. You realize that you're working, but then you can't say this is what you're working for. So at that point, what would you advise? What do you expect that person to do?
Okay, thank you, ma. There's something I love, and it's called delayed gratification. You have a goal of where you are going.
Yes.
And then you tell yourself, I can keep up with this lifestyle. I can pull my children from this particular school and take them to this school and keep on the rat race. At the end of the day, I will have nothing to bequeath to those children. And because, don't forget, I said that income is temporary. What if that particular income that is moving you from the outskirts of town to the center, city center, stops? What happens? The person goes back, not even Asket now, goes back to Asket of Asket.
To village.
To the village, because there's nothing to sustain
Yeah.
that life anymore. So I would rather say, yes, you know where you're going to. Look at your budget and decide to say, I want to build wealth. You and your spouse, you and your partner, anybody can say, you know what, give me 2 years. These children will not die if they go to this particular school.
Yeah.
Commuting from this part of town to this part of town will not kill me for this period of time. Let us just build something that can take us out of the
Okay, so
rat
I
race.
think what I get from that is that what you are saying is that for that kind of situation where the man had to go to work and then is in the city center, you don't necessarily need to bring the whole family to the city center.
Absolutely.
You can keep them where expenditure is lesser.
Absolutely.
You yourself manage yourself around the city and all of that. So I think,
Absolutely.
wow, that makes a lot of sense. So we'll go on a short break and then stay tuned. If you're just joining us, you're watching World Creation on Global Television, and our guest is still Tokunbo Adewumi. And I'm so excited because this young man is dishing a lot of value this afternoon. I mean, even me, myself, I'm learning. So if you're just joining us, guess what? Please grab a pen and a paper. You might need to jot down something, that would really help you. I'm very interested in what he's saying and all of that, because this is a man that not just saying from the leaves, he has gathered all the experience, and I'm so excited that today, out of his busy schedule, we're able to pull him here to share from his wealth of experience. Mr. Adetokunbo, I'm so excited to have you once again.
Thank you.
And before we move on, I'd like you to please let me hear from you. You have been a business manager, development manager for how long, sir?
I've been managing business now for up to like 10 years.
Wow, for 10 years. And you've been a coach and a mentor for how long?
I'm going to say pretty much about that, probably 11, 10 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
So how has your being a business development manager for 10 years and then a business coach and mentor for 10 years been able to impact in creating wealth?
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you.
One of the things, the foundation that I'm running is called F2F, Fan to Flames. One of the things that I see is that I have the ability to be able to recognize someone that has something in
Potential.
Potential.
Beautiful.
Albeit, probably the person, somebody says something. One person amidst one rich person amidst 1,000 poor people.
Yeah.
He's himself still poor because his mindset, a lot of things are going to be affected by the thousands of people that are around him. So I made up my mind that I'm going to pull up as many poor as possible. Now, over the years, because I have been through poverty, I've made up my mind that once I come out of it, I will pull as many people as possible out of it. And then, every time I come in contact with anybody, I want to share what can really help them to move forward in life. So over the years that I've been managing business, I've lost a lot of money, most times because I wanted to build wealth, but I didn't gain requisite knowledge. Because this life is governed by laws.
Definitely.
I dabbled into businesses that I had no idea about, and I just put my money inside and poof, it went into thin air. So I've learned. So I don't want any other person to make that kind of mistake. So when any young man I see, any young woman I see is going into that way, I said, hey, these are the things, these are the knowledge you need to gather.
That's actually the reason why we should get ourselves mentors.
Exactly.
Because mentors are people that have been through what you're going through, or they've been to where you want to get to.
Absolutely.
And they'll be able to guide you.
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
So this is my 10 years of developing business. Like I said, I've burnt my fingers, but I did not fail. I only learned to do better.
So as of today, can you look back and then, because there's a saying that says that you have not succeeded until your successor succeeds, right?
Yes.
So can you look back and said and then count? We're not talking about physical assets right now. We're talking about individuals. Based on what you've been able to point them, you can say this is this person is an asset, and then through you've been able to do this and do that, and the person is where they are today. So do you have such people?
I do. I do. I have a personal mandate, and I'm going to say it on here. I have a personal mandate of raising 1,000 valued men.
Wow.
Men that can be said, this man is a man of value. I'm still far from it, but I can count.
So how many have you been able to?
I can count like, I'm not so many. I can count like 25 at the tip of my finger that I can say, if I call them today or wherever they are, I get reports about them that, this person is doing very well, and it gives me a lot of joy. A lot of them comment. I say, no, don't comment. Just keep shining. So at the tip of my finger, I can count. So I'm still far from my.
So what's your duration? Because if you set up a target for yourself, you should be able to have a timeline. So what you're like, in how many years or how long will it take you to be able to achieve that?
Okay, I'm looking now because not everybody I come in contact with will flow. Some people will fall. Some people fall away. Some people will say this is too much, and then they go back. I'm looking. I've set a pace for the next 5 years of my life. I want to see those 1,000 people stand in every walks of life. I'm not talking about academics. In every walks of life.
Wow, beautiful. Now that we talked about human assets, now let's talk about real assets. So now, what role do you think assets and liability play in separating wealth or wealthy people from earners? Yes, what role do you think assets and liability? Because while we're talking about human assets, area of mentorship, you have these people. Your goal is to raise 1,000 people who become an asset to the society, to humanity.
Absolutely.
And then creating wealth, value, and all of that. So, and then talking about physical assets. So, what role do you think this play in separating wealthy person and income earner?
Yes, thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you.
This is extremely important, and is something every one of us must put at the back of our mind, because assets, by definition, are things that bring money or keep money in your pocket. I'm not even talking about raw cash like that. Assets are things that you can actually and I'm still collecting rent.
So what? You are still collecting rate and is appreciating. So what you are saying is that sometimes lifestyle pressure also help people over time not to be able to build assets. And again, I mean, a lot of social expectation, and all of that. People want to please people and all of that. So, but then, as an expert that you are, what are the mindset shifts that you think an income earner needs to start building for them to actually understand what real wealth creation is all about?
Thank you. The number one point and number one rule is that nothing is too small. Don't ever say I am earning too little and I cannot put anything aside to build anything. It will interest you. I met a young man, 20 years old in university, and I told him, you have 25,000 per month as your stipend, begin to save money. Now, you won't believe it, man. This young man gave me 100,000. He said, sir, can you help me? And I introduced him to an investment. And this young man, in 6 months, turned 100,000 to 147,000. And he's in university.
Beautiful.
Now I said, can you see what this? Your money has worked for you.
Wow.
So nothing is too small.
Mr. Tokunbo, I mean, I'm so excited to have you on the show today. The honest truth about it is that you are a man that is packed with a lot of knowledge and experience. And I can tell you that if we keep listening to you today, we can't leave here today. And then I'll be so happy to have you again, come back to the show. So because there's a lot we need to learn from you. Now, just in 2 statements, what will be your practical advice to the viewers that have listened to you today? People who genuinely want to create wealth. Some of them are people who even have money, but they don't know how to go about it, what would be, in 2 sentences, your advice on how to actually go about it? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say it in 2 words because of time. Discipline and consistency.
Wow, discipline and consistency.
Yes.
I mean, I think that is very, 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 very crucial. Wow, that is an amazing one. My goodness, I'm so excited. Viewers out there, I hope you've been able to benefit something from Mr. Tokunbo Adewumi. That was an amazing one. I mean, I really learned a lot myself today. As we conclude on today's episode, I want you to also remember to keep working on how to build wealth for yourself as well. Keep working on how to build wealth as well. Do something. Don't just think that wealth will come by. It is you that will consistently and consciously start doing something. I'd like you to join us next time as we continue to equip you with practical tools and then how to build sustainable wealth. I mean, irrespective of who you are, where you are, whether you're a student, you're a graduate, undergraduate, you're a single parent, or you're even a stay-at-home mom, we'll be able to see how we can help you. You will learn practical tips on how you are going to be able to create wealth for yourself. Keep watching Wealth Creation on Global Television or Global Television. My name is Ambassador Tina Kenechukwu, your host. Thank you for watching, and bye.